John! Saw his father standing in front of him, shimmering like an apparition. He was saying something, but Johnny couldn't make sense of the words. They sounded as if they came from a tin can. As when Johnny had put strings through the ends of 2 tin cans, and then Grandpa Jackson stretched the string tight and talked into his can while Johnny listened through the other. He remembered the beaming smile on Grandpa Jackson's face when Johnny talked back through his end of the... A slap hit hard against Johnny's face, stinging him roughly. "Can you hear me, John?" his father said. The fog that had been clouding his thoughts began to lift. His father squatted in front of him, his face concerned and tense. Confused, Johnny said, "Yes, sir." "You're in shock. I know how it feels," Harold said. "From the war." "I'm sorry," Johnny said. Charlie cried. "Is Johnny okay?" she asked. "Yes, dear, he'll be fine." Harold stroked Charlie's face. Johnny wondered why his father never caressed him that way. "John, that phone call was from my contact overseas," his father said. "Phone call? What phone call?" Johnny thought. He suddenly realized he was no longer outside on the porch, but sitting on the couch in the living room. How did I get here? He wondered. His father continued. "He's translated some portions of the journal already. He began with the most recent entries, the ones your grandfather wrote, John," Harold said pointedly. Mangle was right. The journal does mention a cloth instilled with power to heal. Your grandfather knew of its power, but that's not all," he said excitedly. Johnny's mind still struggled to make sense of what his father was saying. He simply nodded. "John, listen to me. Focus!" Johnny tried. He concentrated as hard as he could. "Your grandfather wrote in the journal that he had possession of the cloth, and that he kept it secure in his trunk. You understand, boy? That cloth is in the trunk in your room." "No, it isn't," Johnny said. "Yes, it must be." "No, Dad," Johnny interrupted. "I was using it the other day at the water tower." His mind drifted off. The water tower, the experiment. I need to go back and get the battery to take it to Ben. Ben! I wonder how he's feeling. Again, his father's voice shook him from his trance. "John, listen to me. You took the cloth to the water tower. Did you leave it there?" "No." "John, where's the cloth now?" His father's face had turned from excitement to panic. Johnny searched his mind to find the answer. "Did I get it back? Yes, I'm sure of it. Where did I put it? I came home and... The shed! It's in the shed!" he said. "Out in the shed!" He jumped up from the couch, tore through the kitchen, and bolted out the back door. Harold was right behind him. They raced across the lawn and into the shed. "I rolled it up," he said, sliding the boards away from the gap between He slid sliding the boards away from the gap between the workbench and the shed wall. "Yeah, I rolled it up and put it right here." He reached into the gap. It was empty. He probed around with his fingers, jamming his hand down into the gap as far as they could go, scraping his knuckles. nothing. Harold grabbed the workbench and wrested it from the shed wall. The boards splintered with a loud crack. They both peered into the open space. The cloth was gone. These are blank, right? Yeah, those are all blank. And with that, we finish Young Wit, The Shroud of Secrecy. The epilogue to this really does end on kind of a cliffhanger. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out the next book in the series, I actually have already done a dramatic reading for it. I did it as a part of last year's Christmas dramatic readings. There's actually a playlist with all the different parts to the dramatic reading in it. So if you want to check out that book, then continue the story, figure out what happens next, find out what happens next, I should say, then check out that playlist. If you want to check out the Young Wit Books series for yourself, you can get them through christianbook.com or their catalog if you're into that. So, yeah. And I'll see you guys next time.